So I welcome you all in this orientation session of AI and prompt engineering, models to mastery. So I would like to start this session with quotation of Professor Geoffrey Hinton, who is also Nobel Prize winner of 2024. And I quote, in a sensibly organized society, if you improve productivity, there is a room for everybody to benefit the problem to benefit. The problem is not the technology, but the way the benefits are shared out. It means problem is not the technology, how we are going to utilize that technology, how we are going to share the benefits of that technology. It depends on that how that complete society is going to be benefited with that. So I unquote. So that was from the Daily Telegraph interview published in 2017 of Geoffrey Hinton. And here actually we are going to mainly focus on AI and prompt engineering. So in this orientation session, as uh, we are going to talk about, of course, first we will start with introduction to AI. Then this era of generative AI, we will talk about that, what do we have, which type of models we have. And of course, the base of all these AI models is machine learning, and especially deep learning, where we use neural networks. So we will discuss about that. And one important model, that is generative adversarial network model, that we can use for generating images. So we will talk about that. And then we will talk about language models or large language models. Particularly, we know more about them, especially it was popular after the launch of ChatGPT by OpenAI. So we will also talk about GPT-4 and the recently launched DeepSeek model. Okay, and then we will also talk about the prompt engineering techniques, that what we should know whenever we are interacting with these large language models and AI chatbots, that what prompting techniques we should know to get the desired result for our prompts or for our queries from these AI based applications. And we will also talk about future trends, that in future how this AI, artificial intelligence, AI models and prompt engineering is going to affect the different domains of our life. So before going to the slides, I would like to inform you all that this 1 month training come internship program, of which we are today having orientation session, is going to be organized by Atrix Technologies, and the duration will be 1 month. It means 4 weeks. Schedule will be 1 hour per day. It means 1 hour live interactive sessions, hands-on sessions will be taken by the instructors. And mostly it will be 5 days per week, but on weekends also, to cover more things and to give you extra support on capstone projects for completing projects. Also some sessions on weekends also will be organized. And the format will be, first we will have the concepts of those topics, then hands-on practice, and then weekly we will complete one capstone project. So total outcome will be, you will be having at least 4 capstone projects and that internship and training certificate also. So with this announcement, let me go to the introduction of artificial intelligence. As all of us know that now AI or artificial intelligence is known to all. So most of the people know that, okay, AI is going to impact every domain of our life and our society. But especially if we will talk about the pioneer developments in AI or artificial intelligence, that refers to the field especially dedicated to creating intelligent machines or machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. And what are those human intelligence? Especially reasoning, that we can find the reason behind anything. We can learn from the new experiences. We can learn from experiences. And problem solving skills we have, and decision making skills also we have. On the basis of reasoning, learning and problem solving skills, we can take some decisions as human being. So all those human intelligence, now if we are going to inculcate in our machines or computing devices, that is the field or domain of artificial intelligence. It means whatever intelligence we are having, that is real intelligence as a human being we are having, artificially we want to implement that intelligence in our machines or computing devices. That's why we call it artificial intelligence. Artificial means not real, and intelligence means the capability of reasoning, learning, problem solving, and decision making. So that why I started with the basic definition of artificial intelligence, that many times we use this term artificial intelligence, but whenever someone asks that properly define or tell me, if I am not from AI computer science, then how you will define that AI to that person? So AI or artificial intelligence contains only two words: artificial and intelligence. So intelligence means that capability of human intelligence, like reasoning, learning, problem solving, and decision making especially. That intelligence we want to have in our machines artificially. So that is the domain of artificial intelligence. So that is the simplest we can say definition. And so mainly it will cover machine learning, and we know that nowadays most of the models use neural networks, then natural language processing, then the concept of computer vision, deep learning. Of course, deep learning is the domain where we are using neural networks, and especially cognitive computing, like whatever decisions have to be taken in background, proper machine learning and deep learning models will be using, and we can take some uh, uh, neuroscience based decisions, neuroscience like decisions also. So that will come under cognitive computing. So this was the basic introductory idea of artificial intelligence. Now let me tell you that nowadays artificial intelligence is covering all those things like this diagram, like intelligent robotics, augmented programming, algorithm building, AI ethics, reinforcement learning, speech recognition, emergent behavior. So all those things will come under artificial intelligence, but especially when we are talking about statistical and mathematical models, so that will be the domain of machine learning. It means we are actually talking about mathematical and statistical models to achieve this type of intelligence. That is the domain of machine learning, where we in general talk about machine learning models like linear regression, logistic regression, KNN, decision trees, support vector machines. So these ML models actually will help us to achieve this artificial intelligence. And when we go to the second uh, uh, layer, in which we have neural networks means mainly we want to achieve the concept of neural networks that we have in human brain. So same approach we want to implement mathematically in our machine learning domain. So whenever we are using neural networks, that is the concept of neural networks, and when we use it in our ML models, that is the domain of deep learning. Okay, and when we use all these machine learning, neural network, deep learning concepts to generate new text, new images, new videos, as you can see now we have so many AI applications that you can use for generating new text, new videos, new images even also. So that is the domain of generative AI, and chat GPT or DeepSeek is, we can say, are based on in the domain of generative AI. Okay, in which we have generative adversarial networks that is basically based on RLHF and a few short learning, that is prompt engineering technique, and the base of all those things was transformer model developed by the DeepMind team of Google Google Brain team. So all those things, those models, we will be having the concepts of that, and then hands-on programming sessions on those models also we will be having. So we will be discussing all those things in this 1 month program in different sessions in detail. But in this orientation session, I am just going to tell you that what we will be covering, what will be our pedagogy, and what will be the outcomes or deliverables that you will have, you will be able to learn. So let me come to the concept of machine learning. So machine learning is especially about building our machines, especially computers, that can adapt and learn from experience. Experience means especially data. Data means whatever data we have, previous data we will use to train that machine learning model, that is actually a statistical or mathematical model. It will learn from the data and it will predict the pattern, it will learn the pattern, and on the basis of that pattern matching capability, it will tell you for a new data also that whether what value it will be leading to or which class it will be leading to. So in general, in most of the typical machine learning models, there will be a learning algorithm like decision tree, SVM, or any neural network based models we have, and data that we will use for training is fed to for learning algorithm, though, so that it will learn from that data that we in general call training data or training data set. And that learning algorithm draws some inferences, it will learn from it and it will learn that pattern from that training data set, and whenever you will use this for new data also, new sample also, it will generate a model which is a function that maps input to the output. So it will be extracting that pattern from the training data set. So this will be the basic working of machine learning. And when we will go in depth about types of machine learning, then we can broadly categorize it in supervised learning, where machines will be trained with labeled data. Okay, and in unsupervised learning, where we don't have particularly labeled data, so unlabeled data we will be using to train, that will be the case of scenario of unsupervised learning. And whenever we will be training our data in terms of rewards and actions, that will be the case of reinforcement learning. So whenever we have particularly labeled data, for example, if we have data of 10,000 patients, we will be having some symptoms, and finally a column, last column, that this patient was having that disease or not. Okay, so that disease was present in that patient, and symptoms also for some symptoms also related to those patients. So if we will be having that target column, last column, labeled column, that disease was there or not, so that we in general know as labeled data. But in unlabeled data, we will be having only symptoms. It will not be, there will not be any column that will particularly specify the target that this patient was having that particular disease or not. Okay, only on the basis of symptom it will automatically cluster the patients, that these patient symptoms are of same type, so they may be from that, they may be having that particular disease, or otherwise these patients are having a little bit different level of symptom, different values for those symptoms, so they are going to be clustered in different category. So without unlabeled data, it means using unlabeled data, if you are training your machine learning algorithms, especially the concept of clustering, so that will be the case of unsupervised learning. And in reinforcement learning, you can say that whenever it will that model or agent will be predicting something right, then it will get some reward, and whenever it will be predicting wrong, it will not get that reward. If in this way, if you are going to train your data, that will be the scenario of reinforcement learning. So these are the, we can say broadly we can categorize. Even there is one more category that we know as semi-supervised learning, in which we actually combine or hybridize this concept of supervised and unsupervised. Okay, but broadly we can say there are three types of machine learning. And especially with concepts, we also have to know the mathematical foundation of the machine learning models that we have in different categories. Like in supervised learning, for classification, we have logistic regression model, naive Bayes model, KNN, and decision tree model, SVM model, random forest, that is ensemble model. So that are the base models that we should know, the mathematical foundation, that how these models work. Like in naive Bayes, that Bayes conditional probability or theorem is going to be used. Okay, in decision tree, that concept of information gain and Gini index, there is a particular formula for that, that will be used. So we will be having all those concepts first, mathematical foundation of these ML models. then we will implement all those machine learning models on a particular data set. So we will be having Python hands-on sessions also for those ML models. Then in regression we have linear regression, decision tree also we can use for regression, and you can see for classification also we can use. Then we have support vector regression, lasso regression, and ridge regression. So these are different type of regression algorithms. For clustering in unsupervised learning especially, we have k-means, db-scan, Gaussian, agglomerative hierarchical clustering, mean shift clustering. So we will be having the foundational or mathematical concept of all these clustering algorithms, and then how we can implement it, what will be the code of, or how you can implement it on a particular data set. Then we have reinforcement learning algorithms like for decision making, especially like Markov decision process, that is based on Markov model. Then Q learning, R learning, and TD learning. So we will be having the foundational mathematical concept of these models. Then we will also see that in Python how you can implement it. Then we can just see that what are the applications of these machine learning models. Like for supervised learning, in classification we can use it for image classification, fraud detection, customer retention, and other diagnostic models we can create it with for classification with supervised learning ML models. In regression we can use these models for advertising, popularity production, and weather forecasting, also market forecasting, estimating life expectancy, and population growth prediction, and few basic ML projects like house price prediction, and all those things we will be discussing. In unsupervised learning, we can use it for dimensionality reduction, especially PCA, principal component analysis, and all those things we will be discussing, where we can use feature elimination and structure discovery, meaningful compression, big data visualization. So we will be having all those concepts in detail. And especially in clustering we can use it for generating development of recommender systems, customer segmentation projects. We can use these clustering algorithms. And reinforcement learning, especially in the development of AI based games and skill acquisition projects and learning tasks. Especially nowadays it is very much used in robot navigation, that how robot will be moving, and if there is an obstacle how it is going to change its path. So all those things are based on reinforcement learning algorithms we will be discussing. And for real-time live stream data, how we can use it, and for real-time decision making, so reinforcement learning models we will be discussing in detail. Then we come to the emergence of generative AI, especially after the launch of ChatGPT by OpenAI. It was in very much debate that now generative artificial intelligence, that actually refers to machine learning models, of course, that can create new content. Generative means it can generate new content. Okay, that's why this particular section of AI will be called generative AI. It means we will be using all those models for generating new content, and that new content may be text, images, even audio, music, or even video, like Filmora and all those things are using those AI models. Even Sora is another platform. So you can use all those AI apps, applications, and tools for generating new content by learning patterns from existing data. So how it will be able to generate that new content, because it will be trained by the large amount of data, and it has been used the complete internet data to be trained. Then only it is able to recognize those patterns, and it can generate novel data outputs. So that is the basics of generative AI. But we will be also discussing that how we can apply these generative AI models like GANs and VAE and all those other models that we can use, especially in the projects related to education. Like it will be helping you in finding proper course, it will be helping you in diagnosing or analyzing the reviews for a particular course. In healthcare, if there is any disease, and for that particular disease, if we don't have MRI images or CT scan images, very less number of CT scan images, so we can use these generative AI models to generate more, we can say, MRI images, and we can train our machine learning model with that new data that will help in achieving higher accuracy for those ML models. In finance also, that how in which portfolio we should invest and in which SIP we can invest, in which stock or share we can invest. So all those things, actually particularly few apps are there that are actually using these models in their apps. And we, in entertainment and media, like with few prompts we can generate nowadays so many engaging videos. So how, so engaging videos by writing prompt is very easy. So anyone who is not having the proper basic concept of all those things and knowing the architecture of all those models, that also can do. But if you want to do some AI projects which use these generative AI models, then we should be having the concept of GANs, we should be having the concept of transformers. Then only we can develop an AI app or AI model that will be properly inculcating and incorporating all those models. We can use it in cyber security projects, content creation. Of course, as you all know that nowadays in blog writing, content writing, many people use these AI based applications. In gaming, AI based gaming, it is going to be used. And for creating virtual assistant, nowadays you can see that in many of the websites, where you will log in or you will go to the home page of that website, there will be a pop-up that I am your virtual assistant, and you can interact with that. So that is actually chatbot. So we will also see that how with the help of LMS Studio and other platforms we can use those large language models to develop our own chatbots, and how we can use that chatbot RAG enable. It means that particular details or data of your particular organization or department you can also attach with that chatbot. So it will be generating the outputs for the proper prompts or queries from your personal data also, or organization's data also. It will be crawling first, and then it will be interacting. If it is not in your knowledge base or organization's data, then it will crawl or fetch that data from internet if it is available. Okay, so there are so many things related to that, those projects that we will be discussing in detail. So what are the benefits and challenges nowadays, if you are especially in CS and IT, if you are from computer science, even if you are from different domains like bioinformatics, in drug design, in gene therapies, in many other projects also, in marketing, in customer segmentation, in sales, production, HR, nowadays these AI models are going to be used and AI applications are going to be developed. So you should, if you will be having the concepts and the basic knowledge of these AI and prompt engineering, then only you will be able to use it properly, or even you can develop this type of AI applications also. So benefits will be in terms of innovation, and it will of course increase your efficiency and productivity. And of course there are some challenges that we should also aware with, like ethical concerns related to authenticity and potential misuse, and related to quality control, like generated content meets the desired standard or not. Okay, so that also we have to follow some guidelines. We have to also put some check and balance through guardrails. Okay, so all those things we will be discussing. Then now we come to the deep learning and concept of neural network, that we know that in general in neural network we have some input layers, and finally we will be having some output layers, and in between there will be hidden layers that will be used for adjusting the weights and biases, and by adjusting with the concept of forward propagation and backward propagation, it will be adjusting weights and biases, and so many calculations in background it will do for you, and finally it will output those inputs in particular classes, or it will provide you some values particular. So that is the base of we can say of all those deep learning models are especially neural networks, in which we know that there will be some input layers, then output layers, and in between there will be some hidden layers that actually will calculate weighted connections and apply some activation functions to capture non-linear relationship, because there may be some non-linear relationship among the features that you for your input values. So all those things will be calculated, but of course we will be discussing all those basic concepts and the foundational we can say knowledge we will be having about all those neural networks in our sessions, and we will be especially covering these pioneer models like CNN's convolutional neural network, that is mainly popular for image classification, and RNN's recurrent neural network, that is mainly popular and achieving higher accuracy for sequential data processing. And then we will be also talking about GAN's generative adversarial network, that we can use for generating synthetic images and base of many we can say large language models, that is transformer model that was developed by the Google team in 2020, that revolutionized actually natural language processing by allowing models to capture long range dependency in data. So all those things, that how transformer works and what are the components of transformers in terms of encoder and decoders, and how it will be working, and how the one layer of output of one layer will be transferred as input of second layer or next layer. In this form it will be working. So all those things we will be discussing in detail, and especially we will talk about generative adversarial network, in which we have actually two architecture that we in general know as generator and discriminator. So what it will do to generate new images, that generator will add some noise to your actual image or real image, and it will create a new image, and it will be provided to discriminator model, and discriminator model will judge that whether it is a real image or a newly generated image, or we can say a synthetic image. And if it is categorizing it correctly, then again generator will add some noise, do some changes, and then again it will be sent to discriminator. And in this way, whenever that image is going to be classified as real image, but actually it was not a real image, then only you will be getting the synthetic images as generated by these GANs model. So we will be discussing all those things, how you can write this generator model. Actually there will be some neural networks, you will be designing some layers in that generator architecture, and then discriminator architecture. So all those things we will be discussing. I will show you also that Colab file in which we will be discussing the code for this generator discriminator for GAN model. I will show you after discussing these slides. So these are the applications of GANs, like in natural language processing, in driverless vehicles, in medical, in data privacy, in generating audio for time series data, in computer vision. In many of these domains, actually these GAN models are going to be used nowadays. And next I would like to discuss that we will be covering in our sessions about language models, that we in general so know that ELIZA was actually developed by Joseph in 1966. So that is known as first language model, and the last popular language model that we know as ChatGPT. So language model or large language models, story of large language model does not start with ChatGPT. Actually it was long back in history, from 1966. People were actually, researchers were working for getting all those natural language processing based applications that can generate or that can interact with human beings, and the conversation will be just like that two human beings are interacting. So, and nowadays if you will talk about, now we have 6 use cases of LLM especially in business, like in customer service chatbots. All of you know we are using this in content creation and marketing, then in market research and sentiment analysis, in classifying different documents, developing virtual assistants, and especially translation and localization. We are using these LLM. And I would like to mention about the recent model GPT-4 developed by OpenAI, that is actually multimodal large language model. So what do we mean by multimodal? Multimodal means it will be taking inputs for text also, images also. It can handle text, images and audio and videos also. So that's why we can say that more than one model it can or type or forms it can handle. That's why this large language model is known as multimodal large language model. And what will be the working, how it is going to be work, and how it is going to process your prompts. So all those things we will be discussing. And the recent DeepSeek model, DeepSeek's R1 model that was launched by we can say Chinese firm. So that DeepSeek's R1 model is also open source language model. So we will be going to have a hands-on session of all these models, especially DeepSeek Llama that was developed by Meta, and DeepSeek model in LM Studio. For that we will be having an short live session also after discussion of these slides. So we will be discussing all those things, and we will be also discussing that why DeepSeek was very much popular or in news or in debate, that how it has been created or developed with the help of low resources, low computing resources, and we can say less amount in terms of dollars. Then we will be discussing lastly about prompt engineering techniques. So prompt engineering means especially designing and developing effective prompts that can generate the proper results, desired results that you want from ChatGPT. Because many times, as all of us know, use ChatGPT nowadays for various works, for generating various content for different we can say tasks, or we can say different activities, or we can say different purposes. But sometimes we feel that it is not the desired output, and we have to manually enhance it, or we have to refine our prompts. So what are the basic prompt engineering techniques that we should take care after having the knowledge of that how actually ChatGPT or any large language model is going to process your prompts? If you will be knowing all those things, like the concepts of chain of thoughts, like the concept of initial prompt creation, and how it is going to provide initial results, how you can refine your prompt, and how you can further refine your prompt and evaluate and iterate, and there are some format for prompting also, and how your prompts are especially going to be processed by your LLM, whether it is ChatGPT, whether it is Llama, or whether it is Gemini. So if you will be knowing all those concepts like chain of thoughts, like you can say few shot learning, zero shot learning. So all these techniques that your large language model is going to process your prompts, if you will be knowing, then only you can design and develop those prompts that can provide you the desired result, and especially in desired format. So as we know that these are some pioneer applications of prompt engineering, like especially we can use it for sentiment analysis, of course language translation, in question answering, in text summarization, for code generation. Many times if we want to write few programs in Python, Java, so we can use all those. We have so many AI applications that we can use, but we should be aware that how this code is going to be generated, and we should also have the basic knowledge of that programming language. So if there will be any bug in the generated code, then we can debug it. Okay, so that is also important. And how we use this prompt engineering, especially in chatbot responses, document classification, captioning, image captioning, that what will be the caption for that particular image, and the concept of NLP, that is named entity recognition. So these are pioneer applications of prompt engineering nowadays. But of course there are challenges and few future directions also, like there may be some ambiguous prompts that may be result to unfocused responses, there may be some glitches, there are some complexity handling that we should understand, and inconsistent tone or style. So recently actually that Sam Altman tweeted that for every your please and sorry, actually so many amount of GPUs and so many electricity is going to be used for your one word like please in your prompts. So that also we need to understand that how a word is going to set the tone for LLM, how it is going to be processed, and especially loading the model with a lot of context and risk of generating untrue information. Untrue information means sometimes we can see that whatever is the output of any LLM, actually that is not correct. For example, it is generating some responses, or it is generating some facts, but that fact is correctly wrong. So that is the case of hallucination. So how we can tackle those things? What are the guardrails? What are the, we can say, frameworks that can help you in refining you to avoid these situations like hallucination? There are some issues of data privacy and copyright. So all those things we have to be aware, and we have to take care that your developed AI application is not going to face all those issues. So the solution of all those things may be specific in your prompts, example based prompts. That is the case of actually few short learning that we will be discussing, how it is going to implement chain of thought prompting, like your previous prompts or your previous communication. It is going to also take care whenever generating the result for your next prompt. So that is the concept of chain of thought, that also we will discuss. We can set the persona. For example, we can write in ChatGPT that you are my for example marketing trainer, you are my Python trainer, and then you ask something related to Python programming or any particular topic, but you set the persona that ChatGPT will think like that, and that result of your prompts will be generated according to that. Okay, even you can write that the result should be, or the generated content should be in simple words or academic language or professional language. So all those things you can set. So that are prompting techniques. Maintaining balance and specificity of prompts. So you should be very clear in writing prompts. It is something like that the keywords that we were using whenever we search something on Google or any other search engine. So on the basis of that keywords, actually Google uses that page rank algorithm. Similarly here, our prompts are going to be processed with those by those large language models. And then augmented generation, implementing robust data governance, and embrace iterative refinement. It means refining your prompts until and unless you are getting the output from that large language model in your desired format and or as per the your desired level. Next, I would like to also mention that future trends, that of course AI is very much hyped nowadays, but still there are so many things that we can do and that has to be done. But of course that advancement or the growth is very much rapid, so we have to be aware with all those things, and we have to equip ourselves to survive in this IT world, or we can say in any domain. If you are working like in especially operations, HR, finance, and even in teaching nowadays, because there are so many AI tools also available for research and teaching, for HR, operations, marketing, for content creation. So it is less hype, but actually this is the time for more action. Like you will be knowing, or you will be having the knowledge of all those concepts related to artificial intelligence and prompt engineering. Then only you can be surviving in this AI influenced world, or AI influenced era, we can say. And now we are actually moving to human free interaction. Like you nowadays we call some customer cares for different services, and there will be a person that will be responding for your calls and queries. But nowadays we are talking about customer care centers where the chatbots will be interacting with you. And nowadays we are also talking about that whatever results are going to be generated with AI models, how we can explain it to a person who is not from that AI background. For example, if you are going to predict, your AI model is going to predict that particular CT scan or MRI is diagnosed with some tumor. So what is the explainability? How you can explain it to your patient? How you can explain it to your doctor or paramedical staff? So that is, we are talking about explainable and responsible AI. And then perspective analytics for businesses, as we know that as these AI models will be developed, so different type of businesses and domains are going to incorporate and into their operations to optimize business processes. So there is also a sentence, or we can say a news in debate, that it will lead to job cutting. So of course we can see also that in news, due to AI models, few companies, few organizations have already started job cutting, but this is the time to equip ourselves with all those knowledge that is required to survive and required to prove in this AI influence area. And especially in medicine and healthcare, we can see that now AI models and AI based surgery and AI based clinical specialties are going to be implemented. So in Bangalore also there are some eye care hospitals, those are using those AI models to diagnose the type of cataract, and even they can suggest the power and lens that you should use for that type of defect in eye. So these are already in use. It is not that AI will impact. AI already impacted. Actually AI has already impacted. So we should be aware and we should be equipped with all those things, with the knowledge of artificial intelligence and especially prompt engineering. So in conclusion, I would like to say that artificial intelligence actually continues to revolutionize various industries, every industry we can say nowadays, enhancing efficiency and personalization in areas such as education, healthcare, and even your daily life, like you are ordering something, your grocery, or you are using it for booking Ola or any other cab services. So actually it is going to influence your decisions. Even you are crawling something on YouTube, so whatever videos you are going to get in your recommendation, so these AI models are going to be used in background. And nowadays, as we know that we are frequently using these large language models and we are writing our prompts, so effective prompt engineering technique is essential for optimizing these AI models and enabling more accurate and context aware responses, and is becoming a vital skill, especially in AI development and in industry, if you want to survive. And especially research into autonomous prompt engineering, such as the development of AI based apps, demonstrates significant improvements in AI task performance that highlights the potential for automated prompt optimization. And especially in AI technologies advancement, addressing ethical challenge, we should be aware with those ethical challenge like bias mitigation, privacy concerns, copyright issues, prevention of malicious use, is imperative to ensure responsible, equitable, and safe AI for this type of safe and equitable AI integration into society and especially in businesses. So this was the thing that we will be covering in details in different sessions of our 1 month program, internship and training program. So before that, let me tell you that we will be having the concepts of all those things, then we will be discussing all those programs, coding also. So I am going to show you the glimpse, the like we have for decision tree on a particular data set that we'll be implementing. So each code we will be explaining, you will be doing simultaneously, and we will be sharing all these coding files with you so that you can practice it after the sessions also. Like we are taking any data set, we will train, test, split, we will be splitting that, we will be segmenting that in training and testing, then we will train that data set, and we will use, like here we are using decision tree classifier, and then we can generate this type of decision tree structure, and then we will be understanding that for which values it is going to get that leaf node particularly, and how we can predict and get the accuracy for example, here we got 94.76, it means 94% something, 94-95% of accuracy. What is the mathematical formula for calculating accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score? All these are evaluation metrics for your ML models. So we will be discussing all those foundational mathematical concepts also, and the hands-on session for implementing with the help of Python and other tools also we will be discussing. Even for GAN models also we will be using to generate new images. So how we can design our generators with dense layers and Bayes normalization and convolutional layers, all those things we will be discussing, and that we can use to generate new images. Okay, like we have used it for MNIST fashion dataset, that is a benchmark dataset that we in general use for discussing these learning projects. So after all those discussion of topics and hands-on sessions, you will be having actually complete 4 projects and 4 capstone projects and internship certificate. But the thing is that you have to be very regular in that 1 hour session daily. You have to attend, you will be learning. If you will be having any query that you may ask during the session, so it will be live hands-on session, and we will be also helping you in developing the projects that for to get your internship certificate. Okay, and even if you want to do any project related to different domain like bioinformatics, gene therapy domain, drug design, drug discovery, so we will also be helping you. And even if you will be interested in writing research papers on your uh, projects, that we will also help you, because for previous batches we have also helped students. They have published their research papers in different conferences and journal, so that we can show you in the first session that how we will be moving. And now I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Bhavya to tell you demonstrate you that how we can use LM Studio for using different LLMs. Thank you so much from my side.
Run your own AI models offline locally. So we all have used ChatGPT. Some of us might have also used DeepSeek and stuff. But like, have you ever wondered how they actually work? Have you ever integrated them in your projects, like making them work without the internet, integrating them into your websites, into your apps? There are a lot of applications we can talk about. So over here, I'm going to show you how you can integrate it. There are multiple ways to do it. You can use Ollama. You can use the Transformer library from Hugging Face. You can also use LM Studio. Personally, I find LM Studio to be the easiest way. So I'm going to show you how LM Studio works. So over here, can I have LM Studio open? So over here, I have the interface for LM Studio. Now, if you click above, you can have the model selection. Like over here, you can select what models we want to run. We can download DeepSeek, DeepSeek R1, DeepSeek Code, or Meta's Ollama, or any model that's publicly available. You can download and run from here. So here we have selected Llama. So then now below that we have a server. We have activated the web server, and after that it will give you some code. Like it will pre-generate some code for you. You copy the code, you paste, and then you go to your IDE. Here we have already prepared the code for you. Now if you run it, here we have made a small console based chatbot. So if you write hello here, enter, there the server has started generating the response, and there we have a response. So you can ask anything here. It's Llama model, so anything the Llama model is capable of, it will answer. Like you can ask him, what is India? Again, if you see the server, it has started generating the response right away. It's quite a big response. As soon as the server is done generating the response, it will send the JSON over to our project, to our code, and there it will print the output. There you go. Now if you look at the code, it has generated about India. So the Llama model from Facebook, from Meta, has been trained on a large data set. We have model parameters type. Like here, I don't know what llama we have loaded, but we have parameter types in billions. So like 7 billion model, 8 billion model, 70 billion model, 700 billion model. The larger the model is, it's harder to run that, and the more knowledge the model has. So like if it's a small model, it might not know about India. If it's a code specific model like DeepSeek code, then of course it will not know about India because it has been trained on a coding data set. So we're going to be covering all that in the upcoming sessions. What model types are there, what are parameters, how you can fine tune it, what are distilled models, what's quantization, etc. So this will be all from my side for now. I'll be handing over to Divya to conclude the session.